show हर आवाज जरूरी है, voices unheard, wherein we are going to invite school leaders, school founders, and school mentors who are actually creating a lot of changing the system to create a better learning system. So this is the first show of Har Awaaz Zaruri Hai from Metamorphosis, which is going to be live across 40 plus countries. I am the founder of Metamorphosis, Sonal Jhajj, and today, as we proceed to with the first guest, the first one on this show, and we are glad to have her to share a wonderful experience. So, what is Har Awaaz Zaruri Hai? Every school has voices to truly listen. Har Awaaz Zaruri Hai is a promise that no child, teacher, or Didi will remain unsuni. It means a right to whisper carries the same weight as a boardroom decision. It means concerns get logged, answered, and closed in 48 hours, not lost only in register. Here, leadership begins with listening. The quietest student gets a mic. The housekeeping staff gets a vote. Mystics are owned before sunset. Budgets find belonging before banners. Because when every voice matters, integrity stops being on a posture. It becomes a policy. This is not charity, it is clarity. A school isn't built on belief. Every voice once heard changes the room. Har आवाज जरूरी है because paradise begins when no one is unheard. Before I invite my guest, I would like to invite the technical team to share the video of Metamorphosis before what is it and how we have proceeded in these 4 years. Shubhangi, spending more than 13 years as principal. She is a dedicated educational leader committed to academic excellence, holistic student development, and fostering a positive and a progressive school environment. Today, she is going to share her experiences on the topic classroom bridge the gap. So over to you, Shilpa ma'am, on this first show of voices that inspire her Nawaz Zaruri hai. And please introduce about yourself before I carry forward, and then you can speak on this. The stage is yours. Welcome, ma'am. Yeah.
Yes. Sonal ma'am, namaste. Thank you so much. Shubhangi, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
So good evening, everyone. Today I am here to speak about a very important. Today I am here to speak a very important and relevant topic: classroom management. Classroom management is one of the most important things which we as school leaders, we as teachers, at times we have to handle it. Now, classroom management and bridging the gap is my further topic, which I am going to speak on today. When we hear the term classroom management, we might think that it is about discipline or it is about controlling the students, making them quiet, making them sit in their places and start our lessons, which is only the academic part. We enter into the class. No, it's not like that. But in today's education environment, classroom management is much deeper. It is not about controlling students. It's about understanding them, connecting with them, and guiding them effectively. There is always a gap. That is what I feel when any teacher enters the class, not while teaching, but for some time. Not for all the students, but some students they find the gap. What is the reason for this gap? Let us further see to it. Between what we expect from students, what students do, between how we teach and how students learn, between the content delivery and actual understanding. If we can identify and bridge this gap, our classroom become more positive, proactive, and meaningful. Now, here I'm repeatedly using the word gap. Gap. Classroom management, and I'm using the word gap. Now, why? Because not all the students are interested in this and they they are attentive when the teacher is teaching to them. So, the very first thing is the topic which the teacher is going to teach them. She has to introduce it. For introducing the topic, she has to make the teacher's intention in coming to the class and make what she's going to teach the students That her intention and the student's response should go side by side. The gap is the difference between teacher intention and student response. For example, we expect students to listen silently but want to interact. We as teachers, when we are teaching the students interact with the teacher. For example, let me take a very small topic of the age group 9 and 10 years. It is a topic of, suppose it is a topic of science, different shapes of leaves. Of course, we all know there are different shapes of leaves. The name of the chapter is leaves, and in the chapter, the teacher is going to teach them different shapes of leaves. The students are very curious to talk to the teacher, telling the teacher about the size, shape, the color. Some child might say कि yellow color का leaf है. Some might say it is green in color. Some might say it is multiple color. So the students want the teacher to listen. So here very first, how the gap can be covered for few seconds. For few of the students, the teacher can listen to them, then make them quiet. Yes, house or in the house also there are plants. So they have many things which they want to tell the teacher. But to we have to be very specific what we are going to teach the students. Now the topic is about leaf, why the color of the leaf is green, how the, all these things the teacher has to teach them in an age appropriate manner. Now next is the lesson plan. Now many times it happens the teacher plans a lesson in a very wonderful, but when the teacher reaches the class, the teacher either sticks to the lesson plan what she has made without thinking how the teacher students are responding. But here the lesson plan uh, a little bit changed as per the response of the students when the teacher is teaching. And the teachers, of course, we as teachers, we teach with lots of sincerity to the students, but still there are few students, they are very teaching because they don't get to know what exactly the topic is. So in that case, the teacher can go down to the much easier language level where the students can understand and make the students ask the questions. Now here, what happens lead to disinterest? It will lead to discipline issues. Of course, if there is no interest, the child will create some discipline issues in the class, and of course there will be a lack of participation when the teacher is asking questions. Teacher asks the students to read the lines from the textbook. So classroom management is actually about reducing this gap. So let us further see why does this gap exist. Now what usually happens, change in students mindset. Today's students are very different. They are more exposed to technology, right? They are more curious, they are more impatient to know what next, what this, what why. These are the very common questions they keep on asking. Why, how, what, when. These questions they keep on asking rather than the traditional method in which we are being taught. But nowadays, the students are very curious to know many questions, many things, and they keep on asking questions, and they expect the teachers should answer to the question. Now, one way teaching. Now, if the teacher goes on teaching, if the teacher is explaining and she is not interacting with the students, she is not making the student answer to a question. So what will happen? The students will feel disinterested into it. So one way teaching, if teaching is only lecture based method nowadays, I think it should be avoided. Students lose interest very quickly. And emotional and social factors, of course, it comes into it. Sometimes the child is not able to frame the sentence asking the question in English, or he has questions but he is not able to give a confidence to the child. Yes, you can ask, you may ask your query, you tell me your query, I will narrate it to the class. So because of this reason, what happens, the students get a stress I have a question but I again. So this creates some stress and again disinterest and discipline issues arises. Then again, lack of clarity in expectations. Sometimes students are not, it is boundaries. Now, classroom management. Classroom management, the teachers has to set the rules because she is going to teach. Students are going to respond. So students should be very responsible to what the teacher is teaching. The teacher should allow them to interact, but at a certain period of time, and a certain time should be given to them. Appreciation should be there. The teacher should appreciate them, and there should be boundaries while asking questions. The topic should not go out of the what the topic is. It should not go out. Like if it is being discussed about the leaf, then it should be restricted to leaves or the stem or at the most flower. But if the students keep on talking about different flowers, different size of flowers and colors, so this topic will go out of the way. So here I want to need to set a boundary for this. Now, even nowadays, what happens when the teacher goes to the class? Of course, mobile phones and all allowed. This is very very true. But before showing anything on the digital screen, the teacher can brief them what they are going to see on the digital screen. If the teacher is going to use the digital screen to teach them. So this is what I feel. The gap can be filled out in this way. Yes, Sonal ma'am.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, before I proceed towards you, what do you think, ma'am? Classroom management bridge the gap. Is NEP covering all this, or no? Do you feel that there is still more a long way to go?
It will cover, ma'am. It will cover. The main important thing is the stress. As I mentioned, the stress which the students get because of the language barrier. Somewhere the barrier of language will go away. There are skill subjects also coming in, and so wherein the student will feel more confident, more involved into the teaching learning process.
And do you think that the teachers are trained on this, or teachers need day-to-day training on different things to be incorporated in the class?
Teachers are not day to day trained for this, but of course, whenever there is a orientation, when in the beginning of the school, or whenever there is a time in the school, like Saturdays, when there are teachers and the principal and the coordinators, of course, these topics are being discussed, which helps the teachers to take the lesson in a more effective manner. And sometimes even there are topics which same topic is being covered into geography, same topic is there into science, and of course English. If it is a poem, something related to trees and leaves, so these can be integrated and the teacher can teach that. This can create an interest in the students.
Exactly. So my
Yes,
question
ma'am.
to, yeah, my question is, what is that one behavior you are managing, and what need is it hiding? What is that one behavior that needs a lot of constant management, that without you not managing, it will go haywire? So what is that one area that you constantly need to keep a track on, because that is
Uh,
where the lapse occurs?
yes. The answer to this question is, when the teacher enters the class, the very first 5 minutes, the very first 5 minutes, uh, not only when the students come from the PT period or from the computer class, when there is a change in class, when they're coming outside from the class, but yes, of course, when one teacher moves out of the class, there is somewhere make the students say some tables, say some spellings, or ask them to close their eyes and sit quietly. Never matter, your 5 minutes will go away, but the class will be silent and they will listen to whatever you are going to the teachers. That you can spend your time at least once a month talking to the secondary students, because they have many things to share with us, and that is how we can come to know the students are on a proper track. Do allow the teachers, if they have time, their portion is completed and the children have some queries, they have to share something, so they talk to the teachers. That
Wonderful.
remains between the teachers and the students.
Wonderful. So when does the class feel most together? When do you think the class actually together, and what makes it work? I hope you got my point.
Yes.
Yeah.
The after a time, after 7 to 10 minutes, once the class it's a class of 40 minutes. So once the teacher enters, after that settling them, making them attentive, the students paying attention towards the teacher and the textbook and the other things, listening to the teacher, the 7 to 10 minutes goes in that, ma'am.
So don't you think that 7 to 10 minutes is a crucial time that is wasted?
I don't think it is wasted. Here, even the students become curious. The next thing which the teacher is going
Okay,
to teach. Why
exactly.
has the teacher asked us to open page number 67 and so chapter? What is there in this chapter? What is the story she's going to tell us? If it is an English subject, if it is a mathematics subject, how she's going to teach? Like mathematics, many things are there. Like Pythagoras theorem. The teacher can tell them about a story and then teach them the formula. Even there are algebra expressions where the teacher can teach them what are the basic things, like uh, a plus b whole bracket, and teach them a plus b whole bracket square is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. This basic why and how this formula is generated, if the teacher shows this to the student, let it be the sixth standard student, the students, if they pay attention, they will never forget the formula. A plus b whole bracket square is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. This is what I think, and this is at times we practice this.
Wonderful, wonderful. What rule do you enforce the most as a leader? And does it build trust or fear?
um, Both at times, both things are required, ma'am. This is what I feel.
Depends on the
When
situation.
on the situation, more of when the adolescents, when talking about the adolescent students, we have to be handle them very carefully. Lots of patience. We have to boost and confidence into them. Yes, you all share the things. We are there to guide you. We are my teachers also and my coordinator also.
And
It is adolescent students, so have patience. We can't always keep on shouting and scolding at them. We need to little bit understand what is correct and what is wrong. And
wonderful.
of course, if it is wrong, taking the students into confidence that yes, you are in the school for 6 to 7 hours, but your parents need to know this, which I as a school leader or my teachers would like to talk to your parents about this. You be confident that the parents any thing anything in a negative manner. This is what we
When you have a meeting with
handle
the
them.
teachers, when you have a meeting with the teachers sometime, what do you think, what is the main common query that all teachers have from first standard to 10th standard? What is it exactly?
The activities, when the activities are there, then they are not able to complete the portion. So मैम हमें ये हमारा पीटी पीरियड जो है हमें टीचिंग के लिए दे दीजिए. हमें we want this period, so please tell the coordinator or please inform or please send a message to all the teachers, so we would like to go to the classes and complete the portion, because for them academics is also equally important. Of course, sports is important, library reading is important. So whenever required, these teachers request me to have the library period and the PT period, taking the students into confidence. Yes, once the portion is done, so we are going to give you 2 PT periods. So this is, just listen to what the teachers say.
Very good. When do you feel the most respected in a class? When is that moment? What moment is it when you actually feel most respected with the teachers and from the
When while interacting with the students,
eye to eye contact?
eye contact, and eye contact that feels we are respected, they are listening to us.
Is it a very stern one or a very flexible one?
Mm.
Depends.
Stern one or flexible, depends on the topic. At times,
So
it is required for us to be in a stern
you have
voice
to, you
while
have
talking to
to.
teachers. As also. So
And
flexible, I would
what is that one thing you wish as a principal? What is the one thing you wish your teacher must understand about you as a leader? What is
My one wish is teachers should understand what are the things principal ma'am would like to have and not like to have. For example, if it is a class of 40, the teacher should pay attention to 40 students. Marks and examination comes afterwards. When the teacher is teaching in the class, like I said, eye contact, then there should be eye contact, and the teacher should see that all the students are listening towards her, towards to the teacher. And if it is a book incomplete thing or homework not done thing, that the teacher should handle it in her own different manner.
so do you
So
give
this is
them
what I even tell the teachers.
do you give them freedom to incorporate if something is not working?
Yes,
And do you think that you should give them
whenever
freedom?
required.
Okay, but not in all subjects, or it depends when the students don't understand.
It depends, ma'am.
Okay, so as a leader, for you it is as a leader, policy becoming a wall instead of a bridge.
Hmm.
As a leader,
As a leader, yeah,
so that we
it's
start incorporating them. Where is policy becoming a wall instead of a bridge? There's a difference between a bridge and a wall.
yes,
So
yes,
what
yes,
is,
yes, of course.
where is policy? What do you think? Which area?
Uh, Policies in teaching learning process, ma'am, I don't think the policies work out. But yes, of course, when it is a teacher, when it is the school administrative part, there needs a policy. And the bridging the gap now, more of teachers, if it is the academic teacher, the teacher is more into the academic part. So the bridging the gap is one of the important work which the principal gets it done from the teachers.
So how do you reward effort, not just outcomes in behavior?
I appreciate this. I appreciate the students. We make an announcement when, other than the school activities, when the students get any medals or any awards, if they are recognized somewhere in some other than the school, if they are recognized, we make an announcement in the during the assembly. If in case during the assembly we have missed out, then surely after our long break we make an announcement, and all the students are being called to the assembly area, and they are appreciated.
So it was a wonderful interaction, and another 10 minutes, I would like to ask you six quick questions. That is a rapid fire round.
Yes.
You're not supposed to think and answer. You're not supposed to even ponder an answer. So listen the
Yo.
question carefully. Okay? Listen
Okay.
the
Okay.
question carefully. One word for your classroom's current vibe.
Voice.
Vibe. What's the one distraction you wish should vanish?
Um, students. Students should be attentive. There is no much, ma'am.
Name one student's voice you've never heard. Why? What is that one voice that is common in all students, which is never heard, and what is the reason behind it? What is that one voice?
The voice which the students feel to express, they are not allowed to express it. Sometimes, though the students are not that good in academics, but they have a voice. But there are certain, I would say, the average students, those who don't speak out more. There somewhere, I feel we should allow them
Encourage
to
them.
speak out. The average one.
What rule do you wish as a leader? What rule do you wish as a leader? You don't wish to implement, but it has to be implemented.
It has to be implemented. The teachers uh, relaxation recreation for teachers, for the secondary students recreation, let it be sports or let it be any activity where they it is a recreation for them. Like how we say relaxation. I normally use the word recreation. Change in your work gives recreation. This is my
That
sentence
is that is
normally to
that
my
is
teachers.
that is a shortcut method to be adopted, skipping the main work. When did you last say to a student? Sometimes what happens as a leader, you don't get to know something on time. And when did you last say to any student or any teacher, I don't know, I am not aware? What is that last thing? What is that one thing that you think? कि
Yes,
कभी कभी
of
कभी
course,
कभी
at
ऐसा
times it
होता है हाँ
happens.
हाँ,
Uh, at times it happens. Yes, sometimes your teacher misses telling the coordinator, and then when some topic comes in front of me, and then I say, ये तो मुझे मालूम नहीं, ये तो मुझे बताया नहीं गया था. But as they are my teachers, as they are my coordinators, my students, I have to look into that matter in a very positive way.
okay. So sometimes do you feel that if this kind of things happen which you're not aware, does create a little bit of relationship barrier also between the teachers and the coordinators and all?
No, there are no barriers as such, but sometimes yes, it does. It do happens. Because of some or the other reason, maybe because of my busy schedule, the teacher has come to tell me something, and I was more busy than what she wanted to. She didn't wanted to interrupt me. I and coordinator or someone, we are busy. The teacher didn't wanted to interrupt, and that is why the topic remained. But my teachers make it a point that we have one WhatsApp group. They send a message to the coordinator and the coordinator conveys me.
Do you think as a leader handling the whole school and handling the house, both are management skills? So do you think both are easily manageable or the school needs more better management than the home?
A difficult question for me. Of course, the school needs more energy, more thoughtful, more patience. We have to be more thoughtful because we are handling age group of students from age group of 4 to 16 or 15, maximum 15 to 16. So here we have to be very thoughtful, very alert, very vigilant while speaking, very careful while handling the students, talking to the students, and we have to make it a point that daily there should be a eye contact between the teacher and the principal and students, the secondary students and the principal.
Wonderful. Anything that you would like to say in few words that how they can bridge the gap in the education as per the topic and as per the strategies that you have mentioned, your queries as a leader, and a small message to the to the principals, to the founders of the school. You can take any
Here
three
I would
points.
say
You can take
we
any.
should have.
You can select any 3 points and speak on them.
Okay, here I would like to mention few three words. Control. Control in the word is not controlling in a negative sense. Control in a guidance. It is control the class with guidance. Control वे कि डांट के उनको कंट्रोल करना है ऐसे नहीं है, गाइड करके कंट्रोल करना है. सेकेंड इज अथॉरिटी, अप्रोचेबिलिटी. अथॉरिटी हमेशा नहीं यूज होता है, हमको अप्रोच होना पड़ता है. अप्रोच करके क्या करना है वो समझाना पड़ता है. What is right, what is wrong, that we have to approach and tell them. And the third word which I am going to use over here is reaction. Reaction, it is going to show the reflection of the guidance what we have given, the approachability what we have shown towards them, and all these things will be reflected in a positive manner. This is
Wonderful,
what I would
wonderful,
like to
wonderful.
say.
So this is what हर आवाज जरूरी है and Shilpa ma'am
And
actually
I would like
spoke.
to conclude. I would like to conclude. Classroom management is not only about strict rules. Classroom management is not about strict rules or fear. It is about creating a space where students feel respected, engaged, and motivated. And same is for the teachers. Teachers should feel respected, and the students are listening to her. So when students feel valued, they behave in a better way. and they need to be engaged so that they will learn better.
Wonderful. Excellent, ma'am. And I really appreciate your being actually authentic and speaking from heart, from your experience. Because when you actually see educational strategy, we go to the conferences, we go for awards and everything, but still we are clueless about how adaptation has to be implemented. So that is the reason this platform has been created to share ideas of what they are lacking in. Because in remote areas, so many things are happening and infrastructure is also not good. So through your way of how you are handling, they can at least get some idea. Oh, this is how Shilpa ma'am has shown how we can do it. Let us work it out. Sometimes you never know. Your small one trick can work wonders in a school.
Yes, ma'am. There should be a very quick network. Among, if something has happened, the network should reach the coordinator, and the coordinator has to reach the principal, and that is what we do. That is how the things we handle, and that is why the students are also confident. The teachers are confident, and my coordinators, my school coordinators, play a very important role into my day-to-day activities of the school.
So do your coordinators report to you everything on time, or sometimes they do miss something?
The maximum points are brought to me.
Wonderful. It was a pleasure having you and sharing your voice, a voice that inspires, and definitely a lot will be shared in the coming months also. And many will be able to understand your way of connecting with the people where you are working in. And I take this opportunity to thank you for your impactful session on Bridge the Gap in Education. We deeply appreciate your courage to address the silent gap between students and schools. Insights are building trust through listening and not control. Science-backed approach to making Har Awaaz Zaruri Hai a classroom reality. So your voice is going to now become a classroom reality for many schools coming and listening to the session. Your session reminded us real education starts when every voice is heard. So a voice that inspires. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation for this first moment. It's a
Thank you, ma'am.
milestone. It's a milestone.
Thank you, ma'am, for the
Thank you so
opportunity
much.
given. And the name कि हर एक आवाज जरूरी है, वैसे ही आज हमारा टॉपिक भी है क्लासरूम मैनेजमेंट. हर एक बच्चे का सुनना भी
Zaruri hai.
जरूरी होता है.
Wonderful, wonderful. This is what I want educators to come and share. This is what I want more and more leaders to come and share. Only then, when we have a collaborative effort, automatically change happens. And change does happen, ma'am. In this digital world, may you are not able to be present physically everywhere. But through
Yes,
online, you never know which school is facing what kind of a challenge, which teacher might be facing what kind of a challenge. Students might be doing
yes,
something that
true,
we
true.
are not aware of. So when we share what is happening, how they can be implemented, what challenges are being faced, so much is happening around us, so much, and it's not a good thing. आज हमारे आसपास इतना कुछ हो रहा है, अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है. So that is
True.
why genuine leaders come forward to create an impactful revolution through metamorphosis through this platform. हर आवाज जरूरी है, a voice that inspires. Thank you so much, ma'am, for accepting my invitation. It was a really, really pleasure to have you, listening to you, your original voice. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Same, here, same.
Thank you. Thank you. So you can switch off the light, Shubhangi.
Yes, ma'am.